back to the Fire and Water Cooking channel. I'm Darren, and I'm going to show you today some of the equipment I'm going to be using on the water side for the sous vide. A lot of the times I will use this little plastic container here. It's a 15-quart container that I bought off of Amazon, and I'll put that down in the comments, a link to it. I use this as my standard cooking container for sous vide because it fits just about the right water. I can do just about anything I'm going to cook with it, for a small meal, big meal. It does quite well for a pork loin roast, for a few steaks, chicken, just most of the stuff I'm going to cook for 4 or 5 people. It does really well. So I use this most of the time, and I usually have this in my house, in my kitchen. Usually, when you have a container on your kitchen countertops, especially if they're granite, you want to use some kind of trivet on the granite so that they don't, the heat from the container will kind of miscolor it, stain it. So I always use these trivets under my container so it doesn't mess up the countertop. So you might want to do that. You can put a dishcloth down, you can put pot holders down, stuff like that. I just happen to have these rubber trivets that I use a lot. Also on that container, I actually made myself a lid for it. When I first bought this container around Christmas time on Amazon, didn't have a lid for it. A lot of the time these containers you can buy a lid that custom fits your sous vide pod. This one didn't happen to have a lid available. The ones that were available were for other sizes, and I just didn't want to risk it. I saw in one of the other sous vide groups on Facebook, somebody had made one of these lids just out of old wine corks. They just took a vacuum bag, some old wine corks, put them together, custom fit it to their container, so it actually sits on top of the water. And all you're really doing with the covers anyway is making so the evaporation is limited. You don't want the water sitting there open because it will evaporate out. It'll drop the water level in your container, and sometimes that will shut off your sous vide unit. So I made this about 3 months ago. It's been working great. Starting to get a little gnarly on the plastic. I might have to redo it here in a couple months, but it cost me about 10 cents in a plastic vacuum bag, and that's about it. I already had all the wine corks, so it's a good idea. Don't have to do it. It's just something I've done. One of the other containers I use, especially for larger cooks, and you'll see me use this a lot with briskets and ribs, is this Coleman cooler. They call this one the stackable. It's a Coleman party stacker. This particular one is a 48 can, which holds a good size amount of water. You'll see people make these out of the 24 can, which is a little bit smaller. It's actually about the same width, they're just not as tall. I like this one because I can throw, I had actually almost 40 pounds of pork butt in this the other day. You can put racks of ribs in here, you can put a whole brisket. You can fit pretty much anything you're going to cook for a big cook in here. So I use this a lot. The coolers actually make it where the water actually holds temperature better because it's an insulated unit. All you really need to do on these, you can take any cooler you have lying around if you have an old one. The stackable one just makes it where the lid comes off completely. Makes it easier when you're pulling the food in and out and putting your controller in. But I cut a custom hole in the lid here to stick my sous vide unit in there. So it took me about 10 minutes to do that. Really easy. The cooler itself costs $25, Target or Walmart online. So very economical. You'll find if you use a cooler, your temperature on your water will not fluctuate very much because it is an insulated unit, and the water, once it gets up to your temperature, will stay there pretty easily. Makes the sous vide unit doesn't have to work as hard to keep it up to temp, and you make it last longer. So, like I said, but I use that mostly for my bigger cooks. This rack, I use this rack a lot to weigh the food down, to hold steaks in. It works well if you're doing steaks individually, but I usually put a big pack of steaks. I'll put 4 or 5 steaks in one vacuum bag at a time and lay them flat. So normally I just use this, I stick it on top of the meat just to keep it from floating. I use it a lot. It's $8 or $6 at IKEA. It's very simple. You'll see other racks on Amazon that are made with potty racks that are 40, 50 bucks. This works just as well, and it's $8. So I highly recommend getting one, even if you're just going to use it to weigh your food down, because you'll be surprised on some of the food that will actually float up to the top, and you don't want that when you're cooking sous vide. You want it to stay down under the water so that it can cook properly. The sous vide units I'm going to use mostly, I have 2 of them. They're both Gourmet units. This one here I bought on Amazon on a warehouse deal. It's the Wi-Fi unit. I bought this one after I had this one because I wanted a second unit and I wanted to try out the Wi-Fi capabilities and see if I was going to use that. Actually found I don't use the Wi-Fi very often. It comes in handy if you're trying to start your unit when you're not home, if you're away at work and you want to start a cook, 4-hour cook so that it's ready when you get home. It's good for that. You can put ice in your container with the water to keep it cold, and then have it start it manually at another time. I just have found that I don't use it very often, but it's a good unit. It actually had the same power as this one. This one is the Gourmet GSV 140, just a straight manual control. You plug in your temperature, the time you want it to run, and you hit start, and it counts down. Once the water hits the proper temperature, the timer will track down to what you got it for. I love this unit because it's simple, works well, never had any issues with it. You can find these on Amazon, for 70, 80 bucks. Sometimes they're on sale for 60 or so. Both of these units are 1200 watts, and the reason I got a 1200 watt unit is because I knew I was going to be using it mostly for larger cooks like briskets and pork butt, stuff like that. And I wanted to make sure that the heating element had enough power to keep the water going for a long period of time on those big meats, on those big cooks. So I just highly recommend, if you're looking at a sous vide unit, make sure you go with something that's got a little bit higher wattage. Novas are really popular. They're one of them, ones that's really popular out there right now, but both of their units, the Wi-Fi and just the Bluetooth one, have low wattage, and I think a lot of times that's what happens when you see a lot of issues with those. The heating element gets burnt out because it's trying to do too much. People try to use them on bigger cooks, a lot of water, and they actually end up frying out a lot. So, like I said, I've had no issues with these 2 units. 1200 watts gets the water heated faster, keeps it at the temperature a lot easier. So I just recommend look for at least 1000 watts when you're looking for a sous vide unit. So like I said, these are fairly easy. I'll have links in the description showing you these so you can take a look at them. I didn't show you this in the other video, but this is the Searsall, the torch. It's got a little adapter on the end here that spreads the flame out for your food, so that the flame spreads out and doesn't clump on the food and you get the torch taste. Kind of show you how this lights. It's really easy. Just turn your torch on, it lights up, it's hot, spreads the flame out. You've probably seen, if you've watched any other sous vide videos like Sous Vide Everything or Serious Eats, you've seen this used a lot. People will use this if they're in an office environment or in an apartment, if they don't have access to, grills or anything like that, or they don't want to use it on their stove top. This works pretty good, but like I said, I prefer the grill itself, the charcoal, the flame, the smoke flavor from the wood. But this will work in a pinch, and I'll probably use this some as well. That's about it. As far as the equipment goes, the vacuum sealer bags, you don't have to use vacuum sealer bags. You can use Ziploc bags. They do make 2-gallon Ziploc bags, freezer bags. If you're doing a bigger cook like a pork butt or a brisket, things like that. The vacuum bags, you can actually get expandable vacuum bags as well if you're using a vacuum sealer. to do a brisket or do ribs, stuff like that. A lot of people don't know that. They just think you can only use a regular standard vacuum bag, but they do make ones that have a seam in them that expand out so you can use bigger meats. So I'll probably show you those later on during a cook when I'm using them, just so you know. But any questions you guys have, put them in the comments. I will put some of the links in the comments down in the description as well, pointing out some of the stuff that I use. But hope you guys learn a little something, just showing you what I'm going to be using. When we get into the cooks, you'll kind of see this stuff. And like I said, hope you guys stick with me. Getting ready to cook. I'm going to start doing a cook probably in the next couple days. Probably walk you right through it, and hope all goes well. Thanks again. Hey guys, it's Darren again. I just hope these videos help you out in some way. Make sure you go ahead and comment down below. Check us out on Facebook, on our Facebook group, Fire and Water Cooking, and also on our Facebook page, Fire and Water Cooking Channel. And make sure you subscribe below and like this video and share it with others. I appreciate it. Thanks again. We'll be bringing you some more videos soon. Thank you.